Hello everybody, my name is Donnie. I'm part of Team Spirit Guys Paranormal. We're here at the Graffiti House in the Jeff's storage room. Tonight, June 10th, we're going to set up trail cams throughout and do a ghost hunt. Our team members I'd like to introduce: my wife Chrissy, friend Diana, we have newcomer Evan, he's going to be a cameraman and has a background in forensics, and we're going to see about if the floors here are still covered in blood. We have a special guest investigator with us tonight, local historian, retired teacher, well known, Richard Deardoff. He's going to give us a little bit of background history of the area, and he's going to join us in an investigation. And let's see what we find.
We're here at the Graffiti House in Brandy Station. This land here actually is the most fought over land in American history. We're more familiar with things like Gettysburg or even D-Day, Sharpsburg. However, battles were fought there and then the armies moved on. Because of the geographic significance of this and the fact that the army's logistical supplies needed what's here, meant that the armies were fighting continuously for control of this. We've had 23 separate battles or skirmishes fought in this area, including the largest cavalry battle of the American Civil War. The importance is about 4 miles north of here is the Rappahannock River, which was the main dividing line between the North and the South for the first 2 years of the war. The river's broad, it's difficult to pass, to cross over except at bridges and at fords. Bridges can be destroyed, fords can be easily protected. About 3/4 of a mile north from here is Fleetwood Hill. It's actually a ridge line, and that's one thing you have to take into account when you talk about Civil War battles. Get rid of all the trees. The trees are used for heating, for cooking, for building. There aren't going to be any trees here. So that hill, that ridge 3/4 of a mile north of here, Fleetwood Hill, dominates the area. So if you're going to protect this area from invasion, you want control of that hill. If you're going to invade this area, you want control of that hill.
So I'm here at the Graffiti House. It's gonna be crazy. Got lots to do, lots to set up.
Apparently, this building was built by John Stone, who was the son of George and Nancy Stone, who had a house nearby that was also used as an inn. And apparently inn was a nice way of saying brothel in some cases. They had 2 daughters as well, named Juliet and Harriet Stone. This building was originally constructed to be a post office and a store. It wasn't originally a residence. Now, for purposes of our ghost hunt, Juliet and Harriet are known to be here. And this property butted up against property next door, and you'll be hearing more about next door where the Fleetwood Church is, that was owned by a Daniel and Melinda Wine. Now, Daniel and Melinda purchased that property. They never owned this property, but one of the spirits that's known to be here is named Melinda Wine. We think it's Melinda Wine. There's a spirit that's been contacted by other ghost hunters here that identified herself as Melinda. Originally, it was thought that Harriet Stone was Melinda because her middle initial is M, but we have since found out that Daniel's wife's name was Melinda. Now, the spirit corrected the spelling of Melinda to M-A-L-I-N-D-A rather than M-E-L, which is the more common spelling of it, which is a good indication that it is indeed Melinda Wine, because that's how she identified herself. There's a possibility of a couple of child spirits here. They've been known alternately as Sarah and Sally. Now, we have known from prior hunts that Melinda tends to be very protective of at least one of these child spirits. Found out in research that Melinda had a daughter named Sarah. This is complete conjecture, but it's possible that it could be the same person. But yeah, they drained Diana's EVP down. It was brand new batteries and it was down almost nothing. We just got a pretty good session with the dowsing rods. I was speaking with Melinda, who says she's not Melinda White. I do want to ask her again. She says Sally is here, Sarah is not, and at the moment Michael Bowman is outside.
Interesting.
Yeah. Melinda, would you like to talk? And cross the rods, if you would like to talk. You just did it. You can do it. Cross the rods. I know, you already told me you were here. Melinda, was your husband's name Daniel? Is your husband's name Daniel?
To three women who were up there, and he said, and we believe that Michael is a bit of a ladies' man, and he's wearing a cardigan sweater, and it was pulled down to his elbows.
Yeah.
See, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. When we first got here, Diana and I walked in there, and we walked into that room, and we were both like,
Yeah.
holy crap.
And the hair stood up on our arms,
Our
we got
arms,
chills, and
the whole business. And it's hot as hell. in
Oh,
here.
here's one other story you might believe. I was giving a talk up there once, and there was a woman who had two kids, and they were boys, and they were like 3 or 4 years old, and they were jumping around and talking and very antsy, and she said, you know, quiet down and listen to the man. And they said, we can't hear him because the other people talking.
Wow.
Wow.
Michael Bowman, 7th Virginia Cavalry. This is Grumble Jones, and we have a picture of Michael Bowman. He is he's the only one we actually have we have documentary evidence that he actually killed a federal soldier. And you're standing there with 10,000 people, and the enemy's there, 10,000 people. You're shooting at them; they're shooting at you. People are dying. But did your bullet actually hit that person? He was on picket duty out at Shepherdstown, today's West Virginia, and he shoots a federal soldier that also was on picket duty. And later on the day, he goes over and he kicks him to make sure that he's dead. And he writes in his diary, "Today I killed my first Yankee." He also, and you'll have to talk to Barry Atchison about some of his experiences with Michael Bowman's spirit here. He's got some interesting tales to tell.
Michael, we just want to talk to you.
We can feel you. And it's okay. The stuff we have is not going to hurt you.
Why don't you like the laser grid?
Well, we just got a 4.4. Back down to 0.1.
We'd like to note that the
It's,
air
It's
conditioner is off.
yeah. Yeah, I got a 0.4 right here. And
Are you sitting in the chair?
number's fluctuating.
Probably just temperature now, turn the AC off. God, I landed with 3 flashlights in my pocket.
Okay, you gotta be in the light so I can see the rods. Okay, we're good.
Michael, you in the room?
Cross the rods for yes.
Temperature. Man, easy there.
Alright, we got a good cross.
Michael, where are you standing at?
Can you point?
Uh-huh. Right behind me.
It's right over there.
I'm behind Diana and beside Donnie.
Test question. Were you a Confederate soldier?
Yes.
He's here.
Were you wounded?
It's temperature. It's dropping or raising.
Staying the same.
Michael, did you visit the ladies that were up here in these rooms?
Mm-hmm.
Are you the one draining our batteries?
You're not?
Is there somebody else in here with you? Who could be here with you?
Melinda. And reconnoiter.
Melinda, are you up here with us?
How many are up here? Cross them for each member.
There's 1,
2.
2. 3. 3.
4.
4.
Am I setting this thing off?
You might be.
No, that's a
It's just
temperature
temperature.
thing. But I don't want to make it stop.
That's 5.
Six. Six. It's fading again.
There it
But
goes.
it wasn't doing that a minute
It wasn't
ago.
doing that a minute ago.
Was it turned off?
I don't think so. It was on. Batteries are still on.
Donnie, what do you need?
I don't know, I just tried two brand new triple A's and a laser because it's barely lit. Now it won't come on.
Really? All right. Which one of you guys is playing with the equipment?
There we go. When the battle's over, if you've seen the scene from Gone with the Wind, you've seen Gone with the Wind. And that train station in Atlanta when they have all the wounded people lying outside. Think of a mini version of that. They're clearing all the wounded Confederates, all the wounded Federals, and they're bringing them here where they're being examined. We've had fluoroscopic examination of the boards by that window there, and there are blood stains across there. So we're thinking that that window, it's the biggest window in the house, that could well be where they were doing the initial observation of the wounded, doing triage on them. And I would imagine also probably if you go outside and go deep enough, there's probably some bones that you'll find out there. Now, so the Confederate wounded, the Federal prisoners are sent down to hospitals in the area, down in Gordonsville, in Charlottesville, and Richmond. The Confederate dead are, the South still controls the railroads, the Confederate dead are sent home to be buried. What about the Union dead? I mean, these were enemy soldiers. You know, did anybody care about them that much? Not so much. As a matter of fact, what they did was they had prisoners from the Fauquier County Jail and the Culpeper County Jail come here to bury them. Well, burying them simply meant not seeing them again. So if you found a ditch, you threw some twigs, some dirt, some rocks on top of them, out of sight, out of mind. 5 months later, when the Union Army occupies Culpeper County, they want to give these people an honorable burial. However, they find no bodies whatsoever. What they find are gnawed-on bones scattered across the county, as feral dogs and pigs had come and they had chewed up the body. So if you go to the National Cemetery in Culpeper, you'll find a plot there where all these unknown people are buried. Now you go to other graveyards and you'll see individual stones with unknown written on them. That's because they found a body. Right here, what we have is basically a boneyard, where they buried all the bones they found. And every year, Memorial Day, they do decorate it, but there's nothing else there marking them.
Thank the moonlight.
The floor is glowing.
It's glowing.
Yeah. Literally soaked. Wow. I've never seen this much blood.
I've read stories of like the families would go in the basement when they were using the rooms in the hospitals, and how the blood would be seeping to the floor.
Ooh,
Now,
and that seems quite believable.
yeah.
Wow.
Here we are at Fleetwood Church, our other investigation for the night, just 50 yards down from the Graffiti House. I'd like for you all to check out his webpage, come find me, or go find me for Fleetwood Church. You can find that link on our Facebook page, Spirit Guides Paranormal. Looking forward to see you all there.
There you are. She disappeared on me. Spirits of the Graffiti House.
Now, did you get the pictures of the house before it was
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to see this church. It looks crazy.
It looks like it might be haunted. That should be.
Yeah.
My name is Stephen Pollock, and I'm one of the owners here of the Fleetwood Church over in Brandy Station.
There is a graveyard behind this church. There's only one person that is documented buried in that graveyard. Her name is Gertrude Rice. Also, Denise over at Graffiti House found something very interesting in the map that they've got, which I don't know if you're aware, but it calls this the old Fleetwood Methodist Church, and it refers to the cemetery as the Wine Cemetery. Are you familiar with Daniel and Melinda Wine?
I've heard of them.
Okay, they purchased this property many years ago.
Because there is a yellow, or the white, there's a white book over there, like a notebook, that we did do some research on, and it tells you about the church. They claim it was built in 1880, and then established as the church in 1881.
And it may very well have been, but there may have been some existing.
That's what I'm thinking, that there was a building here, and what they did is they modified it in 1880.
Exactly, and Culpeper County corroborates that.
Yeah, that's a very good chance, because I kept hearing rumors that it did date back before the war.
Now we know that of one person that's buried back there for sure, Gertrude Rice, right?
Yeah.
Do you know of any other names?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, that's one thing that we're trying to figure out.
They moved all the headstones.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how are you, and I did try to research it, but they claim some of the graves were removed. And if you look at it, you can see where some were picked out. So it's not continuous rows. It'll be like two, 3 graves, and then there's a gap. You see what I'm saying? So the church claimed that they moved the graves when they sold out, and they claimed that they did leave a few graves back there, unmarked graves, and really mentioned Gertrude Rice's grave. But they said they left some markers back there for future generations to know that there was a graveyard there. Think about it. After the war, when they were buried there, they probably had a wooden cross. Something real simple. A couple more years went by before the war was over. Well, at the same time, the grass is still growing. Then the stick falls over. Maybe someone puts a rock there instead. Then that person that knows about it, he moves on, passes away. Then someone else comes along and says, well, I'm going to clear all this area. I'm going to use the hay off it. What are all these rocks doing here? Those are not the way, and now it's an unmarked graveyard. So, you know what I mean? So how would they actually be able to relocate them if they didn't know where they were? So, and if anybody can send donations, I can definitely use them around here. Oh,
That's from Martine.
I agree.
Ain't much, but dropping the bucket.
Every little bit helps. I'm trying to raise money for the steeple, but I'm still trying to get set up the rest of the
We
way.
put your, was it Fund Me?
Yeah,
GoFundMe
we shared your
page on our-
GoFundMe page all over the place, and it's been
Facebook.
shared by, I think, 15 of our followers as well.
We boosted it and everybody's going share, share, share,
Yeah.
share, share. So
That's cool.
at
Yeah.
least the word's getting out there. If you get any money, that's good.
So, do you want to explain to the camera what we're going to be doing?
Okay, this is known as a ghost box, and what it does is it sweeps radio frequencies, and there is a belief that as it sweeps the radio frequencies that spirits can use the energy of the radio frequencies to say words. There is a technique where, as you can see, Diana has on earphones and a blindfold, so she can't hear, especially once we get the ghost box going, she can't hear the questions that we're going to ask. She's going to say out loud any words that she hears coming from the spirit box, and we will see if they coincide with the questions that we're going to ask. Are there any members of the Fleetwood Church here? Did you come to church in this place, in this building?
Yes.
Can you tell me your name?
Michael.
Michael, are you buried behind this church? Michael, is your last name Bowman?
No.
Can you tell me what your last name is? Does your family go to church here?
Ask him how old he is.
How old are you, Michael?
80.
Are you married? Do you have children? Are you Methodist?
Ask him if he knows Gertrude.
Michael, do you have grandchildren?
I'm getting a baseball game.
Okay, you are getting some really good answers.
a soldier?
Michael, did you go to this church? Who else is here with us?
Michael, is your last name Deal?
Correct.
Michael, did you live in Brandy Station?
No.
Michael, do you know Sally? Sally,
No.
are you here?
You like that Steve is renovating the church?
Wounded. Yes.
Where were you wounded?
Knee.
Wounded knee?
Were you seen by the doctors here?
Did you wear blue or gray?
Gray. In.
Melinda, are you here? Michael, is that you that Steve sees walking around the church?
Was this your last battle, Michael? Michael, did they have to cut your leg off?
Gunshot. Michael, that we were talking to earlier, are you here? Michael, are you a parishioner at this church? Michael, are you a soldier? Yeah. Okay. Are you uncrossing? There you go. You can do it. Good job.
Michael, when you were shot in the leg, did you lose your leg?
Did you wear a gray uniform?
last one again? Michael, are you buried on this property? Yes?
Michael, were you a farmer?
Do you know how many people are buried here?
I don't think he's associated with this church. It doesn't seem that way. Michael, were you part of the battles here at Brandy Station, the Civil War battles? Michael, is your last name Deal? Okay. Thank you.
Are you happy Steve's fixing the church up?
Oops. I don't think they want the church fixed.
Religion.
We're in a church.
Yeah, it is a church. You want to see the church renovated? Do you want to see it looking all pretty and good again? Interesting. Do you not like the church? You don't like the church? Okay. Okay. Not much. Not much. All right.
Do you like the church the way it is?
Yes.
Somebody must not like this place.
Yes. I like the way it is.
Uh-huh. It's the smell. What's it doing? Is that proximity?
See the light?
This is.
Are you
Is-
standing near Richard?
Yes.
It's temperature.
How is it? What's the light outside?
It stays on. As the temperature drop, and it's still dropping.
Okay, well that also indicates
It's crossing.
proximity.
Are you drawing energy from the millimeter?
Yes, definitely.
I do feel a cold draft.
Can you point to where you're standing? Can you point to where you're standing? Are you standing?
Right next to him.
It's still dropping. I have to wait. It's still dropping.
Ask if they turned it off.
Alright. Let him stabilize. Did somebody here turn off that camera? Crossing for yes. Okay. Have you also been draining our batteries? Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Is it because you don't want to talk to us? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, we'll be leaving soon.
Do you want us to leave? It's pointing toward the door.
Yeah, it is. If you want us to leave, can you point the other one towards the door too? Maybe they just want to watch us. Yeah, so.
Do you like to watch to see what we're doing?
Yeah. Not that they don't want us here, they just don't want to talk. Do you get tired of people asking you questions? I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
If you can make the millimeter go off, we'll leave the room.
The REM
Or the
pod.
REM pod, I'm sorry.
See that red thing over there? With the lights on top? Can you make it light up? Put your hand close to it. Just get close to it. That's all you have to do. Do you want us to stay? Just stay and keep you company and not ask questions? Are you a girl? Is your name Sally?
Sarah?
Is your name Sarah?
Hi, Sarah.
Hey Sarah, how you doing? Sarah, do you know Melinda? Don't know Melinda?
Is there somebody else here that doesn't want you to talk to us?
Over here? Okay. Is that person a man? Is that person's name Michael? Is that person's name John? Just keeps pointing over there. Is pointing over there again.
Mm-hmm.
Is that person's name George? Is that person part of your family? Okay. Is that person your daddy? Is it your grandpa? Is it your uncle? Kind of a weak guess. Somehow related, but maybe we're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is your mommy here? Are you more than 10 years old? Okay. Are you more than 12 years old? Somewhere in 10, 12. Do you like to bake cookies? Do you like cookies? I like cookies too.
There's a bowl of candy over here. Can you make that move? Talking to Sarah.
She's talking about.
Yes. And apparently there's somebody over there. Oh, she's pointing
She's
again.
pointing again.
There's somebody over there who is related to her, although she's not entirely sure how. Who does not want her talking to us.
He doesn't want her trying this.
No, she's pointing again. She has pointed over there 3 times now.
Mm-hmm.
Is he angry, Sarah? Is he angry? No, she's pointing at you.
Hello. I'm down here. I'm at home. Go ahead and grab a piece of candy.
Do you want Donnie to come in the room?
Apparently not.
Michael, are you here with us? We know you're around here somewhere. Can you tell us where you are? Are you a ladies' man?
Yes.
Do you like to touch ladies when they come in this room? Were you wounded when you got here?
Maybe?
Did you wear blue or a gray uniform? Do you not want to talk to us? You wanted to earlier. It's just me and Christy here. There's no guys up here with us this time, so please talk to us.
Okay, hang on.
The recorder is still going. I just was wondering if that was Michael we were talking to or if it was somebody else. Want to use the rods?
Yeah.
They're on the floor. They're going to tag here.
Go. I'm sure I look insane, but it's fine. Michael, are you in here? We're looking for Michael Bowman. Michael, is it you?
Is there somebody else in here with us?
Are you the same person that was downstairs to my right?
Did you chase Michael out of the room?
Like 3 times.
Turn this way so I can see them. There you go. That way they're straight in front of me.
Okay. Are you angry that we're here?
Are you the one that's not letting Sarah talk to us? Can you speak into this recorder over here and tell us your name? Thank you.
Can you point to where you're standing? Or to my right again?
Is Sarah up here with you?
Is Melinda here? Are you keeping Melinda away?
Are you keeping Michael away?
I think Michael's doing what Michael wants to do. Are you related to George Stone? Were you a soldier?
Yes.
Were you an officer? Were you treated here when it was a hospital?
Is that your blood all over the floor? That's why he's cranky.
Yeah, out there.
Did you die here?
they have to amputate your arm or your leg here? Did you fight for the Confederate Army? Are you from Virginia? Are you from Georgia? Are you from South Carolina? Those are the states that Richard asked about.
Yeah.
From South Carolina, okay. Did you get to go home to South Carolina after the war?
Are you buried on this property?
Yeah. We're sorry.
We'd really like to know your name if you can talk into this recorder. Can you try to do that for us?
Do you want us just to leave now?
Okay.
I think we should.
Okay.
Okay, we can respect that.
We dedicate this video in memory of our longtime friend and teammate, Debbie Woodson.